Welcome back to Civil Conclave presentation. Today we are going to talk about a quantity survey, the part 4, excavation, substructure, including material consumption analysis. See, this is an image of a excavation pit. See, refer the drawings. Okay, this is the drawings for which we are going to do all the calculations. Okay, the ground floor level and all this level has been provided. Okay, these are sketches of that particular excavation. It had a depth of 2 meter, top slab of 0.2 meter, bottom slab of 0.2 meter. Okay, the manhole will be 0.85. Okay, this is a structure. This is the wall thickness. Okay, the same relay. Now we are going to do the calculation. Volume of excavation. It is supposed to be length, width, and depth, which will give you in a cubic meter. Footing pit. Length is equal to footing PCC length is 1.4 meter. Width, footing PCC width is 1.6 meter. Depth is equal to neck column height, footing depth in meters 1.65 plus 0.45 plus 0.1 is equal to 2.2 meter. So volume of excavation is going to be length into width into depth, that is cubic meter. That is 1.4 multiplied by 1.6 multiplied by 2.2 will be 4.92 cubic meter. Tie beam pit. The PCC length will be 3.2 meter, width will be 0.5 meter, depth will be neck column height plus footing depth plus footing PCC depth, that is equal to 1.65 plus 45 plus 0.1 will make it 2.2 square meter, running meter. Volume of excavation will be length into width into depth, that is 3.25 into 0.5 into 2.2 cubic meter will make you 3.57 cubic meter. Rectangular sump pit. Rectangular sump PCC length is 4.2 meter, width is 2 meter, 3.2 meter. Depth is equal to top slab thickness plus shear wall height plus bottom thickness plus PCC bed thickness, that is equal to 0.2 plus 2 plus 0.2 plus 0.1 will be 2.5 meter. Volume of excavation will be length into width into depth, that is equal to 4.2 into 3.2 into 2.5 will be 33.6 cubic meter. Volume of the backfilling will be volume of the excavation minus volume of the concreting. Volume of the concreting, footing is 14.04, footing PCC 4.14, neck column 2.67, tie beam 5.42, tie beam PCC 2.81, retaining wall 12.91, rectangular sum 28.8. How do we derive the calculation? I will tell you now. Rectangular sum, volume of excavation minus volume occupied. Length will be 4 meter, width is equal to 3 meter. Depth is equal to slab thickness plus shear wall height plus bottom slab thickness, that is 0.2 plus 2 plus 0.2 is equal to 2.4 meter. Volume occupied 4 into 3 into 2.4 m cube, 28 m cube. So rectangular slum is equal to volume of excavation minus volume occupied. That is, the rectangular slum will be 33.6 minus 28.8 will be 4.8 cubic meter. Now substructure, how do we do the calculations? I'm telling you. Weight of cement is equal to 1440 kgs per cubic meter. Each weight of cement bags is 50 kg. Number of cement cap bags per cubic meter 1440 divided by 50, that is 28.8 bags. Weight of sand divided by m cube, that is 1600 kgs to 1700 kgs, that is the weight of sand, that is a dry. Weight of aggregate 2400 kgs. Weight of water will be 1000 kgs. Weight of per liter will be 1 kg. Density of concreting is 2400 kg. Density of steel will be 7850 kg. Density of the brick is equal to 1.92 grams divided by cm cube, or 2.42 grams divided by cm cube for a fine clay. Weight of concreting per m cube 2500 kgs to 2800 kgs if it is RCC. M15124, where M15 is the mixed design, that is 1 bag of cement, 2 bags of cement, 4 bags of aggregate. Cement will be mortar is 1:3. That is 1 cement and 3 bags of cement. Now ratio of the concreting grades we talk about it. M75 1:4:10. M10 1:3:6. M15 1:2:4. M20 1:1.53. M25 1:1:2. M30 1:0.75 into 1.5. M35 1.5:1. M40 is equal to 1.25 into 0.5. But for M25 to M40, better do your own side design mixes. Bricks mortar 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, 1:6, 1:7, and 1:8. The same is applicable for a plastering material also. Total quantity of the concreting for a PCC, that is 13 cubic meter. Grade of concreting is M75. Ratio is 1:4:8. So sand for 1 cubic meter is required of 0.46 m cube. That is 13 m cube is required for a total concreting. So total sand required for 13 cubic meter, 13 into 0.46 will be 5.98 cubic meter. Aggregate size 40 mm. For 1 m cube, you require a 0.92 cubic meter. For 13.3, you require a 0.92 into 13, that is 11.96 cubic meter. Cement for 1 cubic meter of concreting, 1440 multiplied by 0.92 divided by 8, that is 165.6 kg. That means for 13 m cube, you require 13 into 165.86, it will be 21528 kgs. One bag of a cement is 50 kg. So number of bags is required 43 kgs. Total quantity for RCC, that is 63 cubic meter. Ratio is used 1:4. Sand for 1 cubic meter 0.46. So that means for 63 m cube, 63 into 0.46, 28.98 cubic meter. Aggregate 20 mm. For 1 m cube, 92.92 cubic meter. Then for 63 cubic meter, 63 into 0.92 m cube, that is 57.9 m cube. Cement for 1 cubic meter of concreting, 1440 multiplied 0.92 divided by 4, that is 331.2 kgs. For 63 cubic meter, you require 20,865 kgs. Okay. One bag is equal to 50 kgs. So number of cement is required 20,865 divided by 40, that is 471.31 bags. Quantity of sand 5.98 plus 28.98, 3.96 cubic meter. Let us say if we order for the truck dimension, let us say 18 feet by 9 feet by 3 feet, that is 486 CFT. 480 CFT is equal to how many cubic meter? 486 divided by 3.23, 283 cubic meter. Volume of sand in one truck is 13.77. So this number of sand trucks is required 34.96 divided by 13.77 is equal to 2.54. So let us say approximately 3 cubic meter. Total quantity of aggregate 40 mm, 11.96 cubic meter. So same tipper we are ordering it. So one tipper will consist of 8.5 cubic meter. Number of aggregate tipper is required. Okay. 11.96 divided by 8.5, 1.41 tipper. Total quantity of aggregate for 57.96 cubic meter. Okay. Volume of one truck will be 8.5 cubic meter. So the number of tipper required 57.96 divided by 8.5, 6.82. That is a 7 tipper. How to calculate cement, sand, and aggregate for a concrete? For example, 1:1:3. Okay. Shrinkage or a safety factor will be remain 1.54 to 1.57. Means volume of dry concreting will be 1.54 to 1.57 times of wet concreting. Now let us take the calculation. The gray, that is 1 plus 1.5 plus 3, that is a 5.5 CFT. Shrinkage safety factor is 1.57. Now volume of dry concreting is equal to 1 into 1.57 will make 1.57 cubic meter. Volume of cement required is equal to cement value in ratio divided by sum into ratio into 1.57. Volume of cement is equal to 1 divided by 5.5 into 1.57. Volume of cement is equal to 0.285 cubic meter kgs. Okay, kgs will be 0.285 into 1440. That is 1440 is the density. Will make 411 kgs. In bags, it's required 8.22 bags. Now, volume of cement in CFT will be that 0.334722 into 35.287. Okay, because 1 cubic meter is equal to 35.27 CFT. Okay, so volume of cement bag in CFT will be 1.224 CFT. Volume of cement in CFT, okay, considering the dry volume wet volume ratio is of 0.428 cubic meter. Now weight for sand per m cube, that is 1600 to 1700 kgs. Okay, for 1 m cube, that is 1600 kg. Then 0.482 cubic meter, 0.482428 into 1600, that is 684.8 kgs or 0.684 metric ton. Now, volume of cement in cubic feet 0.428 into 35.27. That is because 1 cubic meter is equal to 35.2878. For 0.428 cubic meter, the CMT will be 35. That is CFT will be 35.287. Aggregate. Volume of aggregate required. Okay, that is the same ratio. Aggregate volume ratio divided by sum of ratio multiplied by 1.57. Volume of aggregate required 3 divided by 5.55 whole multiplied by 1.57, that is a 0.856 m cube. Now weight of aggregate per m cube 2400 kgs. Then for 856 m cube you require 2.054 tons. Now if we convert it into CFT, it required 30.205 CFT. Okay, how now the summary. Volume of cement 10.6 CFT, volume of sand 15.110, volume of aggregate is 30.205. Now bill of quantity for the substructure, that is a sum. Cement rate will be 280 rupees, 461 bags, that is 1,29,080. Sand truck will be 10,000 rupees, 3 trucks, that will cost you 30,000 rupees. 20 mm metal rate will be 5,000, 7 trucks 35,000. Aggregate 4,500 per truck, 2 trucks, that will be 9,000. Shuttering area square meter, that will be 194 into 393, that is 76,240. Bitumen paint 150 into 95, that is 142.50. Polythene sheet 22 at the rate of 235, 5170. Termite control 12 into 235, 2820. Excavation 350 into 187, 65, 450. Backfilling 117 into 117, 20.709. The total will be 38.721. Add 5% wastages, that is 19.386. Contingency is 5%, 19.36. The total will cost you 42,000, 4,26,493. You know how we derive this shuttering area and another calculation. We are going now for the same detailed presentation. See, concrete 4-column calculation. Okay, that is a substructure, superstructure. Okay, this is the columns. Okay, this is a sump. Okay, length is 0.3 meter, width is 0.3 meter, height is 1.8 meter. Volume of concreting, length into width into height, that is 0.3 into 0.3 into 1.8, 0.162 m cube. Shuttering area, length plus width whole multiplied by 2 into height is equal to m square, that is 0.3 plus 0.3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1.8, 2.6, 1.6 m square. Now again we come to superstructure. Length is 0.3 meter, width is 0.3 meter, height is 3.15. See, you see the image, one side 3 meter, another side is 3.15. So volume of concreting, length into width into height, that is 0.3 into 0.3 into 3.15 will make you 0.28 cubic meter. Shuttering area, length into width multiplied by 2 into height is equal to square meter. That is 0.3 plus 0.3 whole multiplied by 2, 3.15 square meter, that is 3.75 square meter. Now we come to the 4-beam calculation. See, this is the internal beam, external beam. See, all this dimension has been provided. This is 0.300 mm. Okay, this is again 0.300 mm. Floor beam width will be 0.300 by 0.15. Okay, now let us go to the things. External beam, shuttering area is equal to length multiplied by depth plus length into width plus whole divided by length into whole multiplied by d minus slab thickness, that is for the internal beam. Shuttering area, okay, external beam and axis 2, B versus WB minus D. Length is equal to 3.4 meter, width is equal to 3 meter, depth is equal to 0.3 meter. So volume of the concreting will be 3.4 into 0.3 into 0.3 will make you 0.306 cubic meter. Shuttering area, okay, that will comes around 2.55 square meter. Internal floor beam, okay, length is 3.4 meter, width is 0.3 meter, depth is 0.3 meter. So volume of the concreting 3.4 into 0.3 into 0.3 will be 0.306 cubic meter. Shuttering area, the same formulas have been provided, 2.04 square meter. Now we come to the top slab calculation. Length is 4.5 meter, width is 3.14 meter, slab thickness is 0.15. Volume of concreting will be 4.45 into 3.44 into 0.15, 2.69 cubic meter. Shuttering area, length into width, okay, that is a square meter. That is 4.5 into 3.4, that is 15.13 square meter. Staircase calculation. Here you see the entire images of the staircases has been provided. The number of steps has been 20 number of steps. Mid landing. Here you can see all the mid landing and the landing area. Now let us go to the concreting area. Base slab number 1. Length is 4.082, width is 1 meter, depth is 0.15 meter. So volume of the concreting will be 4.082 into 1 into 0.15 will be 0.61 cubic meter. Shuttering area is equal to 2 side area plus front area plus bottom area, that is a square meter, which is equal to length into depth into 2 whole plus width into depth plus length into width is equal to square meter. That means 4.082 plus 0.15 into 2 whole plus 1 into 0.015 plus, that is a whole, 4.082 into 1. That makes 5.46 square meter. Base slab. Length is equal to 2.33 meter. Width is equal to 1 meter. Depth is equal to 0.15 meter. Volume of concreting will be 2.33 into 1 into 0.15 will be 0.35 cubic meter. Shuttering area, 2 side area plus bottom area. That is length into depth into 2 plus length into width, that is square meter. That means 2.33 into 0.15 into 2 whole plus 2.33 into 1, that is 3.3 square meter. Steps. Length of the step is equal to 1 meter. Width of the step is equal to 0.3 meter. Depth of the riser, that is height, is equal to 0.158 meter. That is number of steps is 20. So volume of the concreting area into length is equal to MQ. The formula is half into width into height into length into numbers. That means half means 0.5, width is 0.3, height is 0.158, whole multiplied by 1 into 20 numbers, that makes 0.47 cubic meter. Shuttering area, front area plus right side area plus left side area into numbers, that's M square. length plus height plus half width into height plus half width to height into height, that is into numbers. That is 1 multiplied by 1.158 whole plus 0.5 into 0.3 into 0.158 whole plus 0.5 into 0.3 into 0.158 whole multiplied by 20 numbers, that makes 4.11 m square. Landing. Length will be 1 meter, width will be 1.5 meter, depth will be 0.5 meter. Volume of concreting will be 1 into 1.4 into 1.15 will be 0.21 m cube. Shuttering area will be 1.97 square meter. Footing calculation. See the images, 1.4 meter by 1.2 meter, height will be 0.5. Okay, volume of concreting will be 0.75 m cube. Shuttering area, length into width, okay, that will be 2.34 square meter. Bitumen area, length plus width whole multiplied by 2 into depth plus length into width whole m square. That is peripheral length area of the parting plus top area footing. That is 2.34 plus 2.34 plus whole multiplied by 1.2 by 1.4 m square, that is 4.04 m square. The same methodology adopted for if the footing sizes has been there. Neck column calculation. See, this is the image of the neck of the calculation. All dimensions have been provided. Length is 0.3 meter, width is 0.3 meter, depth is 1.65 meter. Volume of the concreting will be 0.149 cubic meter. Shuttering area will be 1.98 square meter. Bitumen area will be 1.98 square meter. Tie beam calculation. This is the image of the tie beams which I provided. Length is equal to 3.45 meter. Width is equal to 0.3 meter. Depth is equal to 0.3 meter. Volume of concreting will be 0.31 cubic meter. Shuttering area will be 2.07 square meter. Bitumen area will be 3.11 square meter. Plinth beam calculation. See, this is the entire image of the plinth beam calculation. Volume of concreting will be 0.39 cubic meter. Shuttering area will be 2.61 square meter. Bitumen and paint area for 3.92 m square meter. Grade slab calculation for a width of 4.5 meter by a 3.40 meter. Volume of concreting will be 1.51 cubic meter. Polythene sheet area 15.13 m square. Termite will be 15.13 m square. Retaining wall calculation, because the retaining wall comes around in all the directions of the sump. Okay. Part 1. Length will be 4.35 meter, width will be 1.25 meter, wall thickness is 0.2 meter. So volume of concreting will be 1.09 cubic meter. Shuttering area will be 10.88 square meter. Bitumen paint area will be 5.44 square meter. Length will be part 2. Length will be 3.45, width will be 0.15, wall thickness will be 0.2 meter. So volume of the concreting will be 0.1 m cube. Shuttering area is equal to 1.04 square meter. Bitumen area is equal to 0.52. Now rectangular sum calculation. See, this is the image of all the rectangular. This is a 3D image. Length is be 4 meter, width will be 3 meter, depth will be 0.2 meter. So volume of concreting will be 2.4 cubic meter. Shuttering area will be 12.5 square meter. Bitumen paint area will be 2.8 square meter. Thank you for watching this presentation. Kindly subscribe, like and share, which will motivate me for a further good presentation. In case of any queries, do not hesitate to write to me. The response shall be at the earliest. You can contact me at the civilconclave@gmail.com or at my Telegram group, Civil Conclave Telegram group. The link is been provided below. Thank you for watching this presentation. Thank you.